Libras, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for September 12th through the 18th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Libra, this week we've got a lunar eclipse taking place in your 6th house, making this yet another very important week here in September. So the 6th house, this is the house of your routine, of your work, of your personal development, self-improvement, basically anything you do on a daily level. And so now with the lunar eclipse, there's this awareness of this area very transformationally. You know, you've had the South Node transiting this 6th house over the past roughly couple of years. So there's been a lot of old energies about this, unhealthy energies, maybe having to do with the work or the routine or the regimens. And so this has been helping you free up this area so that you can focus on your life path right now consciously, which is about this 11th house, which is about your aspirations. It's about community for some of you, group things, friends, that sort of stuff. Maybe your hopes and wishes, you know, the things you aspire for towards the future. So this is a great area to learn, really. We are going to have Mercury retrograde going through this area, so there's a lot to learn about this and maybe reconsider regarding these aspirations or group things. But with that willingness to learn, there's definitely plenty to learn, to put that energy into this area. All right, so this lunar eclipse is going to be collectively challenging, which is no surprise because this whole solar eclipse cycle has been. I've been talking about this T-square. And so the T-square with the lunar eclipse will be particularly emphasizing this Mars, who's in your 2nd house of your resources. So the square up to Mars is suggesting that if you are feeling a bit like, really putting energy towards your resources, maybe finances, or maybe your values in some sense, that there's a lot of energy and a lot of intention around this. If it seems like it's imbalanced or taken to an extreme, you do want to bring extra attention to this week because the square does have the tendency to imbalance things. And so we do want to make sure that we are staying balanced with whatever it is you might be energized or motivated towards or really wanting to get done or get to the bottom of regarding the resources. So this could be inner resources, maybe feeling quite confident and resourceful, and at the same time maybe motivated to pursue those values of yours. So this lunar eclipse will also be conjoining up to Chiron, suggesting that there might be some healing taking place regarding these wounds perhaps around the everyday experiences. If you have some wounds about work or through work, insecurities, doubts, things like this, it's good to, again, just like with the square, bring extra attention to this. And really the key with Chiron and all transformational comments like this is about the acceptance process, because it's first about being aware of these wounds, and then the next step is about accepting that we have them. And it's really through the acceptance that it transforms, it changes, and you can really liberate yourself again in this area. So that's the most impactful thing taking place this week will be that lunar eclipse. It will be around Friday. And a great time, great way to utilize this week is a status check. Do a status check of this 6th house stuff, of your daily activities, of your personal development. See what's working and what's not. What are some old belief systems and old patterns that you can let go of that might be unhealthy here? Because that's what the South Node is, old things, old perspectives, old aspects of the mind. And in that way, it serves as the foundation for, again, these aspirations and group-related things. So let's look at that part of the chart. We do have Mercury retrograde over the Sun at the beginning of the week. Here, Monday and Tuesday, we'll be squaring up to Mars, again, emphasizing the patience, taking a breath if it comes to anything you're intent on regarding those values. But here, lots to learn. Over the Sun, there has been a lot of focus where you could be, or have been, focused on perhaps these aspirations. So you could be learning about what excites you there and perhaps more about what you've been focused on. But the Sun is going to start to shift into your 12th house, making this a shifting week where, although, again, life path is certainly pulling you towards the future stuff, there is this more receptive energy now coming into the picture for about the next month and a half with the sun in Virgo. So what's nice about this, though, is that you've had Jupiter recently go into the 12th, helping you see opportunities to connect to the present moment, perhaps. Maybe get some alone time. Maybe get in touch with the spiritual side to life or your spiritual self. Learn more about yourself psychologically, right? This is all the opportunities that you'll have for about the next year and a half with Jupiter here. So plenty to learn there as well. But with the sun here, you can be gaining energy by perhaps connecting to that spiritual side to life. Maybe getting that alone time. Maybe working behind the scenes a bit. And that's already been the emphasis with your ruler Venus here. But now with the sun, definitely shifting your focus towards that more receptive part of life. All right, so that's the early part of the week. And then again, the lunar eclipse around Friday. And then as we approach the weekend, we do have Mars trining up to Uranus, suggesting maybe some freeing energy, right? Individuality, free-spiritedness, maybe regarding the work stuff. So although Mars does have these harsher aspects, the trine up to Uranus over the weekend can perhaps lighten that up a bit and perhaps give a bit of freeingness with, again, your sense of self-worth and confidence and self-reliance in all this, which will be important to balance, but can be quite freeing. And maybe mixing up the routine, mixing up the work life, or whatever it is you do on that daily level can be exciting over the weekend. We do want to stay balanced with all that. Your ruler will be opposing Uranus. And so this is the balance of, while there is perhaps these new things unfolding or changes happening with the work or the daily routine, you do want to make sure that you are, again, getting the alone time, the time out, connecting spiritually, surrendering, going with the flow the best you can. And in that way, it can be quite balanced and quite healthy, because of course we can't have spiritual development if we don't have the routine in order. And we can't have work and routine if we're not connected to presence, at least not in a healthy way. So they're really just two sides of the same coin, and I think it's a great weekend for combining the spiritual with the everyday. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell. Definitely an emphasis on this 6th house, illumination now of your daily activities, of your work, your routine, your personal development. How can you pursue these things in this healthy and balanced way? By releasing some older energies with that south node. And keeping extra attention, of course, on that Mars, on our own drives and tensions to make sure that's done in healthy ways. And learning about this new life path of yours this year, which is now about cultivating these aspirations, cultivating maybe a sense of community and that progressive spirit. All right, so Libra, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.